Hello, my name is Adam Harris, and I'm going to be doing a presentation on vegetarian diets and why, in my opinion, vegetarian diets are not for everyone. So let's start out with the history of vegetarianism. Vegetarian monks, Buddhist monks, started it all thousands and thousands of years ago and have been lacto-ovo-vegetarians for generations and generations. Uh, but this did not appear into the West until about 1842. And there was a man named Reverend William Cowherd, and he would give a free vegetable soup to his congregation as long as they vowed never to eat animal flesh. Now, this became fairly widespread in England, and in 1847, on September 30th, that was the first meeting of the Vegetarian Society in England. And so this was the sort of emergence of vegetarianism into the West, but it didn't really appear into the U.S. until 1960, which was when the first meeting of the American Vegan Society was. Nowadays, fad diets and celebrities have spread vegetarianism so widespread that 4% of Americans now follow a strict vegetarian diet, and 10% of vegetarians or 10% of people in America follow a vegetarian influenced diet. We'll get into what that means on the next slide. So there are several types of vegetarians. First off is partial vegetarians. These people will not eat red meat, and that's the only thing that they will not eat. They'll eat fish, and they'll eat white fish, and they'll eat chicken and poultry, but they will not eat red meat such as beef or lamb or pork. Now we have lacto-ovo-vegetarians. These people will not eat any kind of meat, including fish and chicken, but they will eat milk and eggs and everything that comes from milk and eggs, so like cakes and cheese. Lacto-vegetarians are vegetarians that will eat the milk of animals, for example, goat's milk, so they could have like a goat cheese or regular cheese from cow's milk, but they will not eat any eggs or egg products. So any cakes are out, of course, and including like caviar and stuff like that. And then there's the most extreme, and these people are vegans, and they eat only plant products in their diet. Now, there are a lot of different reasons people become vegetarians. The first and largest are religious reasons. For example, Judaism and Islam require people not to eat any pork, and that makes you a partial vegetarian. Another big problem in the United States is the inhumane treatment of animals in the manufactured food industry. And so a lot of people boycott that industry by becoming vegetarians. They think that they're sort of sending a message to the meat industry that people can survive off of just vegetables. Another reason is health. A lot of people believe that if you are vegan for 2 to 3 weeks or like 2 to 3 months out of the year, that it'll flush out your toxins, and it's very good for you, and I agree with that. And finally, and this is the most rare, whenever people are born, sometimes they're born without the ability to process the harsh proteins in red meat, and so they become partial vegetarians because of it. Now, whenever people start wanting to have a vegetarian, completely vegan diet, there's always a question of what are you not going to get from vegetables that you would normally get from red meat. And these are some very important vitamins and minerals that doctors require you, if you're going to become a vegan diet, to very carefully monitor and to take in supplement form if you are going to maintain a completely plant-based existence. So vitamin B12 is extremely important for your metabolism and maintaining your central nervous system. Vitamin D and calcium are a pair of, is a vitamin and a mineral, and vitamin D you can get from either milk or the sun, actually, but without calcium that you can only find in dairy, they're useless without each other. Calcium cannot be absorbed into the body without vitamin D, and vitamin D only has the job of absorbing calcium. So you need to drink like a vitamin and a vitamin D and calcium enhanced soy milk, or take supplements. Otherwise, you'll get osteoporosis in your later years, or if you're starting veganism quite young, you'll get rickets in your adolescence. Zinc is really important in the regrowth of cells, and There is zinc in nuts and whole grains, but it is not readily available for your body to use, and it's much easier to absorb through red meats, and so a lot of nutritionists require that you take a supplement for zinc as well. And then iron is in the same vein. There is iron in whole grains and dark leafy green vegetables, but it's much more difficult to absorb than from like egg yolks or red meat. And iron is the most important here because a deficiency of iron, especially in women and pregnant women, can cause extreme anemia and a complete lack of energy, and it gets really bad. So here are some benefits of vegetarianism. Generally, vegetarians have decreased body fat from the lack of animal fat that they're eating. They have lower blood pressure due to a lack of sodium in any plant life. There's a reduced risk of heart disease for the same reason. And from all the fiber from the vegetables, they have extremely good digestive health. And from all the vitamin C that they process from the fruits, they have much better immune systems. However, there are certain risks, like I talked about before. There's a lack of vitamins and minerals, which can lead to osteoporosis, anemia, and a complete lack of energy, and ultimately can land you in the hospital. So you have to be extremely vigilant about your diet and about your ability to combine both your plant diet and supplements from other locations in order to maintain a healthy lifestyle, which is, in conclusion, in my opinion, it is much better to become a partial vegetarian who can subsist off of chicken and fish to get their proteins and their vitamins, and eggs, which you can get a lot of your protein and your zinc and your iron. It's really good for you. And then subsist mainly on plants and have all of these benefits like I showed right here. And you can still be healthy without having to always maintain a supplement series for the rest of your life. Anyway, my name is Adam Harris, and